Today I want to just play with some makeup. In my last video I told you that that I had a lot of makeup that I purchased during a lot of sales, like in November and December, and I had sorted everything out and put them in boxes so that I could review them with you, and that was what I was going to do because I'm trying to be on a budget and a low buy for 2025, and I really want to try to stick to that goal. Got my doggy Coco here, wanted to say hi. So one of the things that I wanted to say before I got started with the video, I just want to mention that I am really sorry about the California fires that are going on. It's just totally devastating, and I have no words. All I could say is I've been praying for everyone that has been affected. You need a distraction and you want to continue to watch this video, that would be great. Really, that's the purpose of the video, is really to help you if you've clicked on my video, and if you've been affected in some way by these fires, then maybe you would find this to be somewhat of a distraction from that. So if you're not already following me, please consider following my channel and joining our little makeup family here. Hit that subscribe button so you're notified, and we'd love to have you be part of our family, little makeup family here. Video now, and we will just get on it. So hang in there. Started. So for the foundation, I had a much bigger content creator sent me like a box of products and stuff to try, and you know, just to help out smaller content creators like myself. And so one of the foundations that was in there is the Revlon Skin Caring Foundation. It has 5% squalane and hyaluronic acid. It's the Illuminance. And the shade that this is 209 Buff Beige. Now, like I said, the content creator sent me the, you know, this in the box, and so I didn't pick the shade, but I think it will work for me. I don't have sunscreen on because I don't plan on going outside today. If I do, I'm gonna go out later. And even though I said that I was gonna, you know, stick to a budget, I'm not gonna not buy makeup anymore. But I might, but what I'm doing is I'm just being a lot more cognizant of what I'm spending. So, I'm gonna probably pick up that new Huda, the new blush and that powder, because I think it looks really pretty. Like everybody I've seen use it, it looks really nice. So you saw me do one layer, and now I'm just gonna build on it a little bit here and see. I think it said it was a light to medium on the website base, but I want to just move along with the video, so I'm not going to do that. But that's another thing you can do. She says that it helps set it. But here's a little bit of touch up with that True Match concealer. And now for eyes, now one of the other things that I could do is I could add something like these Revolution bronzing drops. You know, I've used these in a previous video if you want to go back and watch that. And here's how that's looking. So it's going to be in my Revolution video. I think I reviewed their foundation in that video, so it'd probably be in my playlist, in my foundation playlist, if you want to go back and see it. And then I just threw in a little bit more of that foundation. And then you can see here that it definitely got like deeper. So let's see if I just go over it a little bit, if it'll deepen it up. Hang on, I gotta just plug my light in. foundation is just not quite the right shade, you can just add in a little bit of liquid bronzer and just to deepen it up a little bit. And this one is very forgiving, so if you add a little too much, you know, it's not going to be like the CL. Like the CL is so concentrated that you really have to be careful like how much of that you're dropping into your foundation, because it gets really dark. Okay, so now I want to move on to contouring. I'm going to use the Sephora contour stick. I believe the one that I have is the light medium. Let me just check on that for you. Yeah, it's light to medium. This is very affordable, in my opinion. So I saw Dominique Cosmetics. I know this is like really dark. I have a dedicated video just to some L'Oreal products that were like newer at the time. And so if you want to go and watch that, it might also be saved in my bronzers playlist. But she says go over it with something a little bit more warm. Okay, of course, it doesn't look as nice as it did when she did it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my foundation brush and I'm just gonna kind of go over it ever so slightly, because I feel like, you know, it's almost like too bronzy, but yeah, I think that helped. I think it gave a little more shape to my face. Okay, so then the next thing I want to do is I want to try on this new Polite Society. This is called their Polite Pop. I got shade Milan. So it says here it is Coastal Plant. It says it's Coastal Plant aids in moisturizing, Love Vitamin E aids in smoothing, and that's the Love list. And then the Polite Society No list says it does not have parabens, gaslighting, or talc. Everything you love about a powder blush and the convenience of a stick. Our blurring soft matte formula creates a luxuriously sensational experience when applied, combining the effortless blendability of a cream with the look and feel of a powder. Okay, well, let's give this a try. I've had this for a little bit and I've been dying to try it. Here's what the little container looks like the packaging. It's so cute. And then you twist the top off, and then there is the blush itself. So let's go ahead, let's twist this up a little bit. And then here's the shade. Very pretty. Oh yeah. So, you know, how normally when you try to blend something out and it's a cream stick, it feels like a cream? This like dries down to a powder like right away. Okay, so let me go ahead and grab a blush brush that we... Okay, I think that looks even. Okay, so that's the Polite Society Polite Pop blush. I also like how small it is. There's a little insignia, but look at it's so small you can like travel with this, so that's awesome. Okay, moving on to eyes, I have two products here. So one is the ILIA Liquid Powder Matte Eye Tint. It says it's crease proof, it's smoothing, it has horse chestnut and Hono coil. I don't know if I'm saying that right. So here's what it says about these. It glides on like a cream, it dries like a powder, so we have another cream to powder type product. This high pigment water-based eyeshadow transforms into a weightless wash of color that resists creasing and smudging. Hana Coil helps boost antioxidant protection, while horse chestnut helps minimize the appearance of fine lines over time. That's interesting because I take a vitamin every day that has horse chestnut in it. It's very good for varicose veins. So that's the first time I've seen horse chestnut in an eye product, like a beauty product. I'm not saying that there aren't any others that are not like that or that don't have that additive, but I'm just saying I've never seen it in a beauty product before. So there's the shade. This is darker than I thought it was going to be. Let me just go ahead and blend this out. Okay, this is really pigmented. I just blended it out and that's the shade. So, all right, it's good to know. So I'm going to start out small here with this, like just do like a little dab because, and I don't have any, like, I don't have any primer on my eyes. So, okay, and let me just grab, I'm going to use a Morphe M167. This community over here, it was just all dirt and there was nothing here up until about 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, and they started building out everything over here. So, you know, the thing is when communities, they have a lot of new home communities around, and, you know, like we have two that are really big around us. And so it takes a long time for, even though we've been here 8.5 years, it takes a long time for these places to really finish. And it's a lot of dust and dirt. And then if you don't get any rain or anything like that, which, you know, we had a really dry summer this year. It's really bad. So there are days when I'm like, I don't even know what to put on my eyes anymore that are not going to irritate them. And so I find that doing the like one and done shadows and kind of staying away from under my eyes is helpful. So with that said, I'm going to do something that I shouldn't do because of what I just said, but I want to try putting a little bit of this, like lining my my eye underneath, like, you know, like my bottom lash. So let's see how that goes. That's this shade, and let me see if I can get that shade for you. It might be easier for me to read the box than the actual component. Let's see if it says Tannin. Tannin is the shade. And there it is. And I'll tell you, I'm rubbing it. Okay, so it does have a little bit of transfer, but I have a feeling this is really going to stay on, so I hope it does. But then when I just wiped it with like a makeup wipe, it came right off. So, okay. So the other shadow that I want to try today, I got this during the Sephora Rouge sale back in November, and this is the Space Cowboy Moon Dust from Urban Decay. Another one I've been dying to try, but I want to do it with you guys. So this is, I did this last time too, where I couldn't get this open. And I wasn't opening the right side. There we go. So that's what it looks like. And I do have this one. This was the one that they put out, I think, last year. And this is, it just says Moon Dust, and everybody like lost their minds over it. And there is the shades for that one. I did compare to see I wasn't, you know, getting the same shades, and when I looked it up, it doesn't look like it has the same shades, so that's good. This one has Space Cowboy Rides Again, List Energy, I think that says. The writing is so small. A-List Energy, Sparkle Hour, and Lunar Lit. So those shades are not repeated in last year's. So let's just go ahead and swatch these. Okay, so there's the 4 shades. I don't know if you can still get this. I think this was like their holiday release, but I'm really not sure. So with this shade, I think I'm gonna go for this more pink shade, but I'm gonna just use my finger to put this on. I just find that I get the best payoff when I do that. And so like when you have like these matte shadows like this, I feel like putting something on that's like got a good amount of sparkle. So I think wearing it alone, like just with those 2 shades, would be really nice. But then I also think if you just want a little bit more sparkle, I think you can just use that other shade and kind of tap it in. These like sparkly, super sparkly shades are really in right now. Like Patrick Ta, I'm just going to show you that one more time. Patrick Ta came out with those $42 duos that everybody was like, what? You know, and like outraged. And then they sold out. So I guess the outrage passed, but he even did a video about it explaining like why, you know, why it is the way it is and, you know, why it costs that much and stuff. And yeah, but then people sort of debunked it. And I want to say that they used the Urban Decays, either the singles or from this one, to show that. Okay, my friends, I had to pop out my card, and that was the little thumb drive thingy. I had to pop it out of the camera and clean off some other videos because I ran out of space. So I had to stop the video for a moment. Anyway, so that's the Moon Dust. I love this. If they still have it, I think it's really worth it. I want to say it was $39, but then I got 20% off. So, I mean, even at $39, because each of these sells for like $24, so it's definitely a really good deal. I'm going to go ahead and put on some L'Oreal True Match Concealer. This I use to do the little touch-ups. This has 1.5% hyaluronic acid and caffeine. And the shade I have is light medium N3. I just wanted to show you that e.l.f. also came out with these, like, what are they calling them? Glow Reviver Glimmer Finish lip oils. They're infused with apricot oil. And I picked up like 4 of these, and I haven't tried this shade yet. This is called Candy Coated. I love I love the lip e.l.f. oils. They're very pretty. I love the shades. I have a bunch of the original, different shade, but I just wanted to show that to you. All the these glittery ones that they just came out with, these illuminating versions, I think are so pretty. Like every shade is really nice. So the next product we're gonna do is, or we're gonna put on is, the next product we're gonna try is the MILANI 24-hour, what are they calling this? Anti-gravity, highly rated anti-gravity mascara. Okay. There's one eye done and one not done. I'm going to go ahead and do the other one off camera, the other eye off camera. Mascara is on. I don't know how to feel about this right now. I might have to try it a couple of times. I mean, honestly, this one, the one that I've repurchased a couple of times, this is the highly rated lash extensions, I think it's called. Yeah, and it's a tubing mascara. I feel like this one works better on my lashes, but I'll continue to try it. It's new. Sometimes it takes a couple times for me to try something before I decide if I really like it. Okay, so finally we're going to wrap it up by doing the lips. Now, I already have a couple, I think I have 2 or 3 of these liners already. These are the Maybelline Lifter liners. I love these. They're so good. They remind me of the Fenty liners, but they're not as expensive because Babs Beauty just did a whole dedicated video on all the new MAC nude lips, and she used a few of these, and I saved them when I was watching, you know, like I clicked on the link and saved them to my list, and I was like, I better check and see which ones I picked up. And like 2 of the 3 of them I think she used, I already had them. I already had them. So this one is the shade that I want to use, the lip color I want to use is the One Size. I have one of these already and I really like it. It's the Lip Snatcher. And this shade is called Joelapuss. I don't know. This one's, the other one I have is a little more like beigey. And then this one seems to be like more berry. And I thought it really like would go with our look today. So let me just give you these swatches. So there they are. You can see that they're definitely more like on the berry side, so that's good. So basically these lip snatchers like really stay on, and one side is like more of like a flat color, and then this is like a gloss. This is like the liquid lip, and this goes over it, or you could wear them separately. And they really stay on. I really like the One Size products. I feel like they don't budge, which is good. Okay, so for that, if we're gonna do that berry, I'm thinking this shade is gonna be the best one. So I just need to get this off, and that's gonna be fun. These little plastic things that you have to try to get. I usually hand them to my husband and he does it for me because sometimes I just can't get them off. But if I understand why brands do this, because if they didn't, then, you know, people would be testing them on their hands, and then other customers would be like, okay, I'm not going to buy that because somebody swatched it. And so it just becomes wasteful, you know. So I get why they seal them up. At least, you know, nobody has done that. Take off the e.l.f. I'm going to go ahead and line my lips. Okay, another really pretty shade. I'll have the shade listed down below, but it is Lineleader is the shade. Okay, let's go ahead and try the One Size. That is the liquid lip side. Now I'm going to try on the gloss side. Okay, really nice. I'm really glad that I picked up this shade. Yeah, I think it looks good. Okay, so that's the lips, and then I think we'll just put on a little bit of highlighter. Rinse them or something, because you know how Sephora is always like changing their packaging or changing their products, or they have good products, but then they, you know, they kind of have their life, I guess, and then Sephora wants to refresh. And so I don't think there's anything wrong with this highlighter or the shade. It might have been repackaged, and so that's why I was able to get it like so inexpensive. One other thing that I want to do before we finish is I did a video on Marilyn Monroe's look. I have a dedicated video to it. It was just a fun thing that I wanted to do. And so one of the techniques that her makeup artist did was he would take like a brown pencil, if I can find it amongst all this stuff here. He would take like a brown pencil, and I have a Sephora one, and he would like, it works better when you don't have anything underneath your eyes, but he would just kind of like, he would take a pencil and then he would just kind of like go out like a little bit on the sides to kind of like make her eyes like look like they were, I guess, like bigger. This is a Melt Cosmetics, but I also have one that came really highly recommended by Nikki LaRose, and that's the Sephora brand. I picked it up, but I haven't opened it because I haven't had the need to. But you basically take like a lighter shade, and then you go, you kind of go under that. So the idea is that you're like kind of casting a shadow on your eye. And like I said, like if you don't have anything on underneath, like on the bottom lash, it looks better and it really kind of sticks out. But in that video, I talk about it because I did the technique. And I just think it's like a cool, I mean, I thought her makeup artist, he's the one that like was behind that whole look that Marilyn used to, that was like her, her signature look, if you will. I also want to just do my eyebrows. I'm going to do those off camera, and then we'll come back and we'll assess. Okay, eyebrows are on, and then the final thing that I want to do is I just want to add some powder. So I am going to use the Huda. Actually, no, because we mixed up both drugstore and more high-end, I'm going to grab a different one. Yeah, the Maybelline Fit Me is very much like the Huda. So if you don't want to spend the money on Huda, hers is great. I love it. I've got a few of hers in different shades. But I will say the Fit Me is really good too. So if, it just depends on, what you want to spend your money on. But set everything so like it stays on. Yeah. So I think that looks good. I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like I can't like skip that step anymore. I mean, I can, but I feel like I just like to do that so it makes my makeup last longer. And then since I powdered it down, I just want to spray something over it to kind of bring it back to life. Mini, but I really like this. And I like to just spray it on, and it just kind of gives me like a nice glow. So here is the finished look. And let me just tell you how I feel about everything. I really like everything. There isn't really anything here that we use today that I don't really like. I'm very surprised by this ILIA. I really like this shade, and I love the way it feels on my eyes, and I have a feeling it's really gonna stay on just because it was really hard to get it off. I mean, it was easy to get off with a wipe, but when I used my finger, yes, there was a little bit of transfer, but for the most part, it really just came off. So, or it really stayed on. So, really like that. Really pleasantly surprised by that. The Polite Society, I really like this a lot. I mean, I think this, I love the little component. I think you could travel very easily with this. I love how it dries down to a powder, but it really gave my cheeks like a lift, and I think it makes them, I think it gives like a nice youthful, soft look. So I would be down to try more of these. Really like those. The Moon Dust Quad that I finally got my hand, finally got to show you, and I could start using this regularly now. Love this. I think I might even like it more than last year's version. So that's good. Really happy with that. I like the one size. I like these lip snatchers. They work really well. And I love these Maybelline lifter liners. I think they're really good. Love the new e.l.f. lip oil. That's fabulous as well. The jury is still out on the Milani mascara. I mean, I think it's fine, but like I said, sometimes I don't love a mascara in the beginning, and then the more I use it, the more I really like it. One other product that I used off camera that I'm getting really low on is the Polite Society. I think they call this Big Mouth. It's a lip plumper, and really cute packaging, but you can see I really like it because I'm all the way down to the bottom on this. So I just wanted to shout that out, how much I really like it. The bronzing drops, I've reviewed these products before. They're great, love them. One of them is the Infallible bronzer, love this. And then the other is the Revolution bronzing drop. So we use those to kind of deepen up the foundation. The foundation, it's okay. I mean, I think it's pretty. I like the way it looks with everything else on my face. But my initial reaction to this is it doesn't feel, it's kind of strange. It doesn't feel matte, but but it doesn't feel like skincare. It just feels like a very light foundation, and it is light to medium, so I did have to build it up a little bit and then like do a couple little touch-ups. So it's okay. I mean, out of 10, I'd probably give this like, I don't know, maybe a 7, like 6 or 7. So I'll continue to use it, so I use it up, but that's my feeling about it. I think if you have very young skin, or you don't have wrinkles, and you don't have or you don't have darkness, any kind of dark spots to cover up, and you want a foundation that is really very natural and has a light coverage, then I'd say you really like this. I don't see the illuminance in it. I mean, I somewhat do. I've had more illuminating products, but that's my feeling about this. I think it's just because I tend to like a medium buildable coverage. I love full coverage, but I tend to just, because what's on the market is usually medium buildable. So I think the light to medium is what is kind of throwing me off a little bit with it. But anyway, that's how I feel about the foundation. So I think I covered everything. Yeah, and then you already know how I feel about the concealer. I've been using it and really liking it. And then the contour stick. I like this contour stick. it's just, you have to kind of just go light with it. I mean, I drew all over my face and then I had to buff it out, but it buffs out, so it's like easy to use. But this is light medium, and you saw how dark it is on me, so I'd probably maybe use a brush to use this next time instead of drawing it directly on my face. So, but it is a nice contour, and it's very affordable, especially when they do their 30% off at Sephora. So that is the end of this try on and review, my friends. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, watching me today. I know I have to edit this video, but I still think it's going to be long. I hope you hung in till the end, and if you did, I really appreciate it. And yeah, that's everything. Sound off below if you have any tips for us. And thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.